telling calling for the full accounting of the history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the problem is, you got people that view this as a virus. But if America is going words lengthy, America's ever going to be America. Let America be America. America's ever going to be America. It's got to understand that the 1619 Project, critical race theory are not the virus. They the vaccine. Listen, this is Free Talk Radio. It's been a pleasure to be with you. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep talking, speaking truth to power. We're going to talk free because this is Freedom Talk. Listen, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. We are hot. We will be sure. We will be sure.
Is it time?
WOVU 95.9 FM, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Her in the Huddle, WOVU's Look at Sports, featuring the First Lady of Sports, Rachel Hill.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Her in the Huddle, WOVU, a 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, just like the voice Sugar Booger said. He's not here with me, but that's okay. I got my co-host with me, Willie Epteen, coming at you from the TX, Big Texas, whatever you guys want to call it out there. You know what it is. But, you know, we try to give you some of the hottest sports talk in the world and beyond. Thank you so much for joining us. So how's it going today, Willie, man? What's going on, sir?
Cleveland. Look, Sealand coming from D-Town by way of Oaktown, by way of Louisiana to boot. What's going on, Rachel? What's happening? I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah, so look, at least I got one place, right? I'm doing okay. It's drizzling out here, you know. It's going okay so far. Thanks, Rick T. Appreciate you. My guy Willie and the First Lady. Hey, George, what's going on, man?
George always chiming in, man. What's going on, George? What's up, EHJR?
Yeah, hey, Eric. I'll see you a little later tonight. Y'all got me going, man.
I just followed you on Twitter, man. Make sure you hit me back.
Yeah, last night I got a chance to do the Big Play Reflog show with Chris last night. So that was a good time. So we'll be doing a show later on tonight, Willie, and then I'll be with Eric tonight. So busy doing a lot of stuff. Love it, though. Lots of sports to get into, man. So what do you want to tackle first, Willie? You know, I had a couple different topics. You know, we had some breaking news earlier in the day as well. But, you know, one of the things, okay, so let's get to the Indians first before we get to the NBA, because we don't have, you know, we only have a little Indians to discuss. So they were able to get a win against the White Sox, which was really important because that's a division foe and the division leader, because they want to, you know, obviously gain ground in the division. But the biggest story coming out of the game is James Karanchak, who is one of the closers who went in, and all of a sudden you hear the announcers from Chicago kind of saying that they noticed a foreign substance on his red glove. So pretty much they were alluding that James Karanchak was cheating. So what do you think about the accusations of cheating? They didn't ask for a glove check because that's something that they can do with the officials, correct? Because I've seen it done in college. They can ask the officials to check the glove, but it wasn't done.
Well, maybe it's a non-story. Maybe it will be a non-story. I don't know. I haven't really seen that much about the story itself. I am paying attention to the game because fact that this is the White Sox and it is the Indians, and the Indians are looking up at Chicago in the standings, and Shane Bieber was on the mound and he got the victory. So I don't know really much about the story in itself, but the game was phenomenal as they had to hold off the White Sox as they got 2 in the top of the ninth. But they were able to hold on and secure the victory. This was game 1 of the set. Is that correct?
Oh, Mike, no go Cubs. This was the 3rd game of a 4-game set. So actually today's game got postponed, and they're going to do a doubleheader in September 23rd. So this, I don't understand why, because it's drizzling. So the game was supposed to be 1 o'clock today, and like 11 o'clock it was called. So they're not playing today, but it was going to be the 3rd game. And they took the last 2, which is good. Unfortunately, they didn't really gain any ground because they're still 30-24, and Chicago is 33-22. But the good thing is they have some teams that are coming in that are not as good. One of those teams definitely being the Baltimore Orioles, who are kind of at the bottom of their division. So I think that's a good thing to be able to try to gain some ground, because it seems like we got some cupcakes coming up soon. So that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, and and the poor Baltimore Orioles. I mean, since that season, I want to say it was 2000 and maybe 11 or 12 in there. Mm-hmm. They were actually contenders, and they lost to the Kansas City Royals. No, the Royals won the World Series in 2014. And they were actually in the playoffs that year. They played the Royals in the divisional round, I believe it was. But really, since then, they haven't been much of anything. And the fact is, they had a 14-game losing streak. I think they actually snapped it. And poor Trey Mancini, who is going to be a lot of people's comeback player of the year after coming back from colon cancer.
Yeah,
I hope he can land on a team that is a contender, because you hate to see that type of talent get wasted on a squad that's not very good, i.e. Mike Trout.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. 18-37 in the bottom of the East, 10 games behind the Blue Jays, who are in 4th place. So the Tribes should be able to gain some ground on opponents like that, hopefully be able to sweep them. But yeah, the Cleveland Indians, let's see who some of their next opponents are. They got the Baltimore Orioles coming into town, then the Cardinals, and then they face the Mariners again, which kind of was a tough challenge for them out west. So we'll see how that series goes. And then they have the Orioles again at home again. No, they go on the road and play the Orioles. I'm sorry, my bad. So they're on the road playing the Orioles. So they are off tomorrow as well. So they got 2 days off. So that's a good thing, because they only got like 3 days off before All-Star break, and they got a lot of games to play. So yeah, but nobody checked James' glove or anything like that. But they kept noting that, he would go in there, he would go in his glove and rub and then touch the ball. So they were saying that's what he was doing. I'm gonna say he wasn't cheating, because that's one of my guys. So I'm just gonna say that he wasn't doing that at all. He wasn't cheating. We don't cheat.
I'm gonna say he wasn't cheating because they didn't catch him.
And we all know how many other teams doctor balls and stuff like that, though, too. So let's be real. Everybody's cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You ain't juicing, you don't want it bad enough.
How many teams are in Major League Baseball? 32, right? 33 of the teams are cheating in some form, fashion or another. So
everybody's trying to get the extra edge. But one of the things I want to ask you about, I came across a story about how Oakland A's are treating their minor leaguers. Did you see that story link I sent of the lunch?
Yeah, I did. And I actually saw the pictures of the food. But the A's had come out and said that they had cut ties with this vendor 3 weeks ago. I don't know how true that is. But this is the infamous Fry Festival that offers sandwich and sliced cheese for dinner. Now, we know, and I've had Colin Colin Thoreau, he is my guy. He is a catcher in the Oakland A's organization. He's been on the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show, I want to say 3 or 4 times. And those minor leaguers, man, they get it done. They get done so bad in terms of how they're treated. And this coming from the A's organization, I haven't had a chance to text him about it yet. He may not even say anything about it because, when these things happen, they're pretty much sworn to quietness. But I'm certainly going to ask him about it.
Yeah, it looked gross.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like, remember when they were in the bubble, how the women were in the bubble and the men were in the bubble? Mm-hmm. That's kind of how the women's food was looking in the bubble. So George said Karanchak is 0 in cheating. Bob Baggett is in ban for 2 years from Churchill Downs. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, wasn't it the horse, the Medina horse?
Yep.
His second test came back. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
And he was cheating.
And hey, it's like it's like what Denzel said.
What did Denzel say?
It's like what he said on training day. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yeah. So, wow. And, you were thinking, okay, the first test was messed up. The second one will come back. And no. So, yeah, unfortunately, that substance that they detected was really there. So, I guess that means that obviously he didn't win the Kentucky Derby and it goes to the second runner up. And is he disqualified or what happens with that? I don't really follow horse racing that much. We did talk about it when the Kentucky Derby happened because of the cheating, but
I just saw this on here from Mike Hughes. Go Cubs. Really?
Yeah, no, I ignored that because I'm still mad about 2016. Oh yeah, so Bob Baffert is banned for 2 years from Churchill Downs. So I guess
just from Churchill Downs though, but not the other 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's give him an opportunity to cheat there too and see what happens.
Yeah, until 2023. So yeah, the spring meet. Betamethasone.
So the horse is banned, but the jockey is not, or the trainer is too, right? I mean,
it just says him. The suspension starts immediately.
Okay, so Bob Baggett is the trainer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, well, I can see why the jockey wouldn't be, I guess, banned, but I'm assuming that means the horse is banned too, right?
I'm not saying anything saying the horse is banned. Okay. I don't know why the horse would be banned. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, well,
he was an innocent participant.
Yeah, he was. I guess that's true. I mean, you can't really hold something accountable that can't be accounted for anything. So I guess that makes all the sense in the world.
And then the poor jockeys. One time I was reading a story about these jockeys at Thistledown, and just you talk about how bad minor leaguers are treated. Jockeys are treated just as worse. And then they gotta weigh like 115 pounds. So they are not too overweight, so they are as light as possible for their horses to go around. So they talked about like a lot of the jockeys are like anorexic and all that other stuff. So it was kind of crazy reading about that,
You know what? What's going to be crazy is they here in Texas or here in Dallas, particularly when I first moved here, we got these toll roads. I know y'all got toll roads up there.
You said toll roads?
Toll roads, tollways. So we have these toll roads down here, and they've really quadrupled over the last 20 plus years. But when I first moved here, they had these toll booths where people actually worked in them. So now they tore all those down, and everything is done by camera. And it's just like at Walmart where they're getting rid of the everything is self-service. I'm waiting for the day for somebody in horse rating or Elon Musk or somebody to invent a jockey to throw on a horse that is not human.
Yeah. You see like the dog robot?
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. We might not be here, for the full, robot experience, robot people, but I think that one day it will be created. Is what if they had it during the pandemic? How many people would have probably not had to deal with loneliness and all that other stuff if they had like robots to talk to and conversate and stuff?
Yeah. Artificial
mental health might have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that yesterday with, with Naomi Osaka. And I've been seeing some reports about that today. We just talk about everything here on Her in the Huddle. Everything is in the huddle on Her in the Huddle.
Yeah, man. Everything is in the huddle. So with that being said, we got to take our first break right quick. So you are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we will be right back.
Okay.
WOVU 95.9 FM has brought you 5 enlightening discussions from the consent decree in partnership with the United Way of Greater Cleveland and the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP. Coming up on Wednesday, June 9th, from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. is discussion number 6, what our listeners have really been waiting for, on the topic of families and communities building resilience. Community members from all walks of life will describe their experiences, emotions, and support systems from losing loved ones over the past year to violence, including police misconduct. Learn how they have taken action to help their communities, such as establishing neighborhood watch programs and advocating for new legislation. This discussion will be moderated by Rick Jackson, an award-winning journalist and senior host and producer at WVIZ, PBS, and IdeaStream, with over 40 years as an anchor and reporter. You can find more information and register at unitedwaycleveland.org. That is unitedwaycleveland.org to learn how Cleveland's leaders and the Cleveland Police Department will improve relations in the community. Join us for this free virtual discussion on Part 6 of the Consent Decree on Wednesday, June 9th from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. right here on WOVU 95.9 FM, streaming on WOVU.org and on our free mobile app, because together we can elevate change in the community. This is brought to you by the United Way of Greater Cleveland, the Cleveland chapter of the NAACP, and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Hi, this is Joy Johnson, Executive Director of Burton Bell Carr Development, also referred to as BBC. When you hear BBC, you may think of the British Broadcasting Company. We are actually named for 3 community leaders who served the Central and Kinsman neighborhoods in the past: Lonnie Burton, James Bell, and Charles V. Carr. Residents of the Central and Kinsman neighborhoods may be familiar with those names because we have the Lonnie Burton Recreation Center, we have Charles Carr Avenue in Garden Valley, we have the James Bell Pool on East 71st Street in Central. Many of our residents were alive when those 3 leaders served the community. Folks outside of the community sometimes think we're a law firm, a CPA, or that Burton, Bell, or Carr are people who work here and founded the organization. They were all deceased when Burton Bell Carr was founded in 1990, and the organization was named to honor their contributions to the neighborhoods. So now you know who we are, Burton Bell Carr Development.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. Remember, you can always give us a call and join the conversation at 216-271-0959, and you can download the WOVU app. You can take us on the go, or you can listen to us live on WOVU.org. And we also broadcast live on StreamYard on Facebook, and a lot of people have been interacting with us that way, which we completely love. So, hey, let's move on to the NBA. I'm here with Willie Epting and my co-host with me, and Willie, I went to bed early and I fell asleep, and right before I was going to bed, the LA Lakers was getting it taken to them by the Phoenix Suns, and then I woke up and I found out that they lost by 30. Now this is your team, so Willie, I want to ask you, what is going on with your team, man? What's going on? I need some answers. I need some answers.
I'm speechless. I mean, they, like LeBron said, they got their A kicked. That's
okay, because I missed that press conference. I was asleep.
Yeah. He said they got their A kicked, and that's exactly what happened. Dennis Schroeder, you turned down $80 some odd million extension because you won $100 million, yet you don't even score a point last night. LeBron James is not making it up the court. And you know what? I gotta look. We need to have an argument. We're gonna have an argument on the Shake Back Sports Show, or either the Shake Back Sports Show OT, because I am going to really give a soliloquy as to why LeBron James is not the greatest of all time.
First of all, you better stop talking about him because he on your team right now. So you better hope he win this title for y'all.
Well, they ain't gonna win. They've won their last game in 2021.
You think so? Oh, that's a bold prediction, sir.
Yeah,
it's bold prediction Wednesday. I forgot it's not Tuesday. That's a bold prediction Wednesday.
Yeah, well, they've won their last game in 2021 now. That may be to the chagrin of fellow Laker fans, but it might be look, because LeBron James came out today and said, Anthony Davis, do not rush coming back. Do not rush coming back. So unless James were like what? Well, who was it for the Celtics? Coach Rick, the one that was at Louisville in Kentucky. Rick Pitino said when he was with the Celtics, Kevin McHale ain't walking through those doors. Larry Bird is not walking through those doors. Well, for the Lakers, Magic Johnson is not walking through those doors. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not walking through those doors. And we know Kobe ain't walking through those doors physically, but it's going to take some supernatural superhuman efforts for the Lakers to turn this thing around, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Woo, boy. Yeah, from what I could see, wire to wire, just past AD, LeBron's supporting cast just ain't good enough. It's just kind of like when he was with the Cavs, just they're not getting it done. And I was hearing about that, he was offered that contract extension, and I just haven't seen anything out of the people that play on the Lakers. What is the bald-headed white dude that looked like a baby bird? Alex Caruso, just terrible, man. Just terrible. They couldn't shoot the ball. They couldn't rebound the ball. Phoenix could smell blood in the water. I honestly hope that the Lakers don't lose tomorrow. I would like it to be somewhat a good series, but it's not looking good. And today people were saying that LeBron James had that give up body language in which it looked like he was giving up. And that's the last thing that you want from LeBron James, is to be walking around acting like he's giving up. Because if he does walk like that, yeah, the season could be over tomorrow night.
Well, and that's just the thing. This is the reason why I say he can't be considered the GOAT. He just can't. You've never seen Michael Jordan have that type of body language after even getting beat up physically by the Detroit Pistons in the 87, 88, and the 86, 87 playoff series when they just could not get past Detroit. You have never seen Michael Jordan do that. And we've seen this from LeBron. This ain't the first time that we've seen this from him. And you know what? It ain't going to be last, because I think Phoenix is going to come out and the Suns are going to light the Lakers on fire and just send them on and put the Lakers and the fans out of the misery, because look, it's championship or bust. And this team is not anywhere close to being good enough to really make a viable run at a second straight championship. It's not going to happen.
Tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Why the game got to be so late? God, especially for people on the East Coast.
Yeah, I think the leagues, baseball particularly, and NBA need to do something about that.
Yeah, because I definitely ain't gonna make it to the end, so it'll be very interesting. Nate said, what did he say? He liked the Denver Nuggets series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh?
We're gonna get to that too.
Yeah. But so you think that for sure, 100% for sure, that Phoenix is going to beat the Lakers tomorrow night at home?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay. All right. Well, we ain't on air tomorrow, but we can test that when we come back on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, but by that time, the Suns will be playing against they'll be playing against the Blazers, I think. Speaking
of Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, man. How underrated is he of a guard? How underrated is he in the league?
He's not underrated. He's
Do
not underrated.
you think he gets the appropriate shine though?
He doesn't get the shine that he probably deserves because he's in Portland.
Yeah.
But he's by no way is underrated. Oh, by the way, shout out to East Oakland, the Oaktown, the town, baby. That's where he's from. 510. Y'all know what it is.
Ain't that where Too Short from?
Too Short from Oakland.
There's a East Oakland.
Yeah, Gary Payton's from Oakland. Jason Kidd's from Oakland.
Should be getting while the getting is good. Too Short, baby. I like Too Short. Too Short, baby.
My favorite rapper of all time, for real. I'm trying to get that dude on my show, man, because one of my cousins actually know him personally. I mean, like this, yeah, for real. So I don't know. I'm still working on it, but yeah. So Dame Dollar
drops 55 points. He dropped 55 points, and unfortunately, Willie just dropped himself from the program, but he's gonna be right back in a second. But yeah, Damian Lillard dropped 55 points in play, and unfortunately, Portland still lost that game. The final score that they lost in 2 overtimes, so the final score of that game was 140 to 147. So right now, Denver leads that series 3-2. So they have another game left if Portland wants to go ahead and push it to 3-3, and then they finish that out in Denver. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I don't think that Portland is going to be able to make it past Denver. I think Denver is going to go ahead and pack it up. But I really, shout out to Damian Lillard, because I just don't think that he gets the props and accolades and the attention and respect that he deserves, because he's just getting it done. And that's probably because he's out in Portland. Hey, Willie, I was like, we talked about dropping things, and I was like, Willie dropped himself from the show by accident. You okay, bro?
I don't know what happened. I mean, it's just like it just went away. But I came back, so here I am, I guess.
It's okay. I was just saying the amount of points that just got scored last night, 140 to 147. That was crazy. And Dame dropped 55 points in the losing effort, which just sucks. Double overtime.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? I saw a graphic earlier today where the Blazers in both overtime sessions went 1 for 14. He being Dame Dollar, scored 17 of the 19 points that Portland scored in both overtime sessions.
Well, remember when LeBron James went the first time that they got past Detroit back in the day in 2007, and I consider it one of LeBron's best games ever when he scored 25 out of the last 29 points against the Pistons to beat the Pistons. That time, I feel like that was one of his greatest performances ever. So it was kind of like that, but Cleveland did end up winning the game. But all that for a losing effort, unfortunately. But yeah, man, that just sucks. Free Dame. He can come on to the Cavs. I'll take him.
But the thing is, though, is that he doesn't want to leave there. He wants to stay there.
Why? It rains all the time.
I don't know.
Maybe they treat him well.
Maybe because where he's from and where he is, both in and land. I don't know. But then if he comes to Cleveland, that'll end the land too, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Portland, Oakland, Cleveland. I don't know. I don't know why. It's gonna take a lot. And in actuality, I think that Terry Stotts is gonna be let go if they lose this series. Now, this is 2 years being removed from being in the Western Conference Finals against the Warriors, where they got swept. But
yeah,
they don't. I don't get it. They haven't really had the cachet to really get those prize people since that Portland Trailblazers team that had Scottie Pippen and all those guys on it.
Yeah, I think it's Portland. I think it's where it's at. There's only one team there. There's no other major sports teams there. So I don't really think people really consider that a destination. You want to have something going at least. Yeah.
there could possibly be 2 teams there.
Okay.
Yeah.
A football team and a baseball team?
No. Well, baseball team, because I didn't report it, but I talked about it. I didn't report it. I talked about it last week on the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show, or 2 weeks ago, that some ownership or front office people went to Portland for a reconnaissance on possibly scouting out a location for a stadium.
Okay.
I will be devastated if that happens.
Why?
Oakland is my team.
Oh, so the contention was
Oakland
from Oakland.
is my second city.
But why would Oakland come over? I mean, which team? Oakland team? No, at the A's?
Yeah.
Would be looking to leave Oakland? Why?
Yeah. Because
y'all got the Giants. So.
Oh, that's in San Francisco, though.
Yeah, but ain't that across the street?
It's across the bay, but
that's across the street.
But San Francisco and Oakland, those 2 cities are 2 totally separate vibes. Let me tell you, it ain't even the same in San Fran than it is in the town. As a matter of fact, they call San Francisco the city and they call Oakland the town, but the vibes are like night and day, for real.
All right, we gotta talk about that when we come back.
You have the Warriors that departed Oakland and went over to San Francisco because they got the new Chase Arena. The 49ers went from San Francisco down to Santa Clara, which is about an hour away. It's actually in a different county, but they're still the San Francisco 49ers. And the Giants, their ballpark is fairly new, but Oakland, Alameda County, Coliseum Stadium, Oco.com Stadium, whatever it's called today, that stadium was built in 1967, I believe it was. 1967.
That's ancient.
You think about all the cities and the franchises in different cities that have been able to get new digs. As a matter of fact, right here in Texas, the Rangers just moved into Globe Life Park, whereas Globe Life Field is right across the street. It was built in 1994.
Hey, Willie, you about to lose your team, man. Willie Frozen. You about to lose your team. We got to go to break really quick, but we're going to talk some more when we come back. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have just yet. We're going to be right back.
WOVU 95.9 FM LP is a community radio station that is an enterprise of Burton Bell Car Development Incorporated, BBC, the nonprofit community development corporation, serving the greater Cleveland community through the terrestrial frequency of 95.9 FM. WOVU provides a vehicle to connect people to valuable information and resources through on-air broadcasting and associated social media platforms. WOVU addresses the concerns of the urban community with solutions-driven information that allows us to showcase Northeast Ohio talent and positive urban music not typically found on mainstream radio. We operate with the motto that people support what they help create. And WOVU, our voices united, provides exciting and creative ways to engage, involve, and uplift the community.
Better days are ahead. Be ready with the training you'll need to get a great job. If you or your family has experienced financial hardship as a result of COVID-19, Tri-C can help with full tuition assistance. Whether you want to improve your skills, get certified, or train for a new career, go to tri-c.edu to check out our programs and resources. So what are you waiting for? Register now for online and on-campus summer classes. Tri-C is where futures begin.
This message is brought to you by Tri-C and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, Willie, I feel bad. I'm sorry. This is Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. You listen to her in the huddle. And when we was going to break, I was kind of teasing Willie, saying he going to lose his team. I kind of feel bad about that. Sorry. Eric says Oakland has nothing sad because they're one of the most crazy loyal fans in the U.S. Yeah, y'all got an ancient stadium. So in order for the Oakland A's to stay, y'all going to have to get a new stadium. So what's the deal? Are they trying to – one of the things how they financed our stadiums here is something called a sin tax. So they taxed alcohol and they taxed cigarettes in order to be able to pay for our facilities here. What are they doing there to try to help y'all pay for a new facility for the A's to prevent them from moving?
I think it's something similar to that. And I'll have to reach out to my cousins out there in Oakland because they've given me information as this thing has progressed. But there is a proposal out there to have a stadium built in downtown Oakland near the Jack London Square, and it supposedly is going to seat 34,000 people, which is, that's pretty good for a baseball ballpark. And in truth, it would be right up with what is needed because the city of Oakland has gone down. I mean, really down. I mean, it's kind of like what we've seen in Detroit, what we've seen in other cities up there in the Midwest, maybe like maybe even parts of like St. Louis or whatnot. But this is the thing with the city of Oakland. The team wants to stay there. The team wants to stay there because I think that the team understands that with no professional sports franchise on the East or in the East Bay, it's gonna have a detrimental effect for the fans that are still there. And we are some fans that will ride and be dead and still will cheer these teams on. And if this does happen, and I kind of think it is gonna happen because one of my cousins actually texted me and said the A's want to stay, but the city is only making it appear as though they want to keep the A's, but they really don't want to. Yeah. I got a lot of memories in that stadium. I mean, that's where I went to my first baseball game. I went to my first football game there. I went to my first basketball game there way back in the day. And when me and my wife went out there in 2017, we went to see the Raiders play the Chargers, and Phillip Rivers drove the Chargers down the field and won the game on a kick, on a field goal as time expired. And I was hot at that because I knew that was going to be probably the last time that I saw the Raiders play in that stadium, because next year I didn't get back out there. And then the year after that, we were in Vegas.
What's in Candlestick Park now?
Candlestick Park is no longer. They tore it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they tore it down. And that area is a horrible place to have a venue for a sports venue because, yeah, the AT&T Park where the Giants play it now, it sits right on the bay, but Candlestick Park was like on top of a hill, but right next to the bay. Okay. So it would be a terrible venue. That's why, other than the fact, that's why the 49ers moved to Santa Clara because Santa Clara is inland.
Did you see what George said? You about to lose the A's with the MLB blessing. It is true that Oakland Alameda County Coliseum is why the Raiders and Golden State left for Vegas. No new digs in that city.
Yep. He's 100% right.
Man, what if the tech companies got involved to help build that stuff? Eric says he doesn't know 100%, but his opinion, he feels like Oakland makes no money compared to LV or Portland or something like that. Yeah, because I don't see any benefit, Eric, to relocating the team from Oakland to Portland, because that's almost like the same thing. Like that, how far is that distance?
Well,
I see them putting it somewhere else.
Portland is probably about 9 hours from Oakland. Okay. But that's not the deal. The deal is that they are willing to provide new digs for the team. And again, the A's, even the Raiders. Well, I don't think the Raiders wanted to stay because I think it was a count that Clark County or maybe the city of Vegas offered Mark Davis $500 million just to bring the team there. So it's going to be hard to turn down that kind of change. But in terms of what the A's are doing, the A's, like I said, they want to be there, but the city wants to, for lack of a better word, pocket the money. And look, if they were to put the stadium where they said they would put it, not only is it going to bring a new venue for the franchise, but it's going to bring areas to shop, areas to eat, bars, all kind of stuff. And I don't understand what the city of Oakland is doing. And then, I even talked about it with Jay Mott. He comes on the Shake Back Sports Show OT with me sometimes.
Hey, Jay.
He talked about the same thing as far as why don't any celebrities that are from Oakland get involved and try to put something together. Well, number one, ain't no celebrities in Oakland got that kind of dough. Now, Too Short and them, yeah, they got money.
Too Short, baby.
They got that kind of money. And I don't even know if he's even a baseball fan. But
probably not.
Hammer, as you know, he was a bat boy for the A's way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't got that kind of money anymore.
Hammer go, hammer, and the rest is falling in place. Oh my God. Sorry. I just dated myself.
That's all right. So anyway, it's a sad situation, and I will never become a Giants fan. I will never become a 49ers fan.
Why not? It's the same city, ain't it? It's right down the street. They're next door to each other.
Girl, I just told you that the vibes in those cities are very different.
I know, but it's like the same place. That's like me saying I'm from Cleveland, but I'm from the next town over. But I tell people I'm from Cleveland because most people, my town is kind of famous. But I just say I'm from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
But that's
Oakland and San Francisco are like the same thing.
No, I'm telling you, they're totally 100% different. Different. You got to look. If you ever take a trip to Oakland, okay, Oakland is grimy, gutter, just blue collar. It reminds me a lot of cities in the Northeast with its blue collar mentality. But San Francisco is where the tech companies are, the .coms. Okay. And they keep that money over there. Look, you got Silicon Valley, San Jose, Santa Clara, Palo Alto, where Stanford is, all up and down that peninsula on that side. That's where the money's at.
What's in Oakland? Too short.
Too short, baby. Way too cold.
So you think you're not gonna have a team? I'm sorry to hear that. That kind of sucks. We got some more basketball stuff to get back to. I'm like, man, how did we get on this? I'm like, I don't even remember. Karen said, George said he dragged Karen to watch today with the grandkids today. Drag Karen where?
Yeah.
To watch today with our grandkids today.
Maybe they're watching the show.
Oh, okay. I'm like, the Today Show? I'm like, I love the Today Show. I watch it like every morning. I appreciate George's support. He always got my back. So I'm super appreciative of George. But we got some basketball news to talk about, man. So shake up with the Boston Celtics and shake up in college basketball. Which one do you want to tackle first? We're going to go to break right quick. But which one you want to tackle first?
Let's come back and talk about Mike Krzyzewski.
Okay. Who I swear to God, he dyed his hair because I'm like, ain't no way in God's green earth that he does not have a gray hair and he's like 73. So we are going to take a break right quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Attention Shaker Heights residents. The United States Postal Service is bringing a mobile unit every Monday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 2855 East 130th Street in Cleveland. This mobile unit will offer services including stamps, package mailing, and money orders in place of the Shaker Finance Station, which is closed through October while enhancing security. P.O. Box customers should continue to pick up their mail at the Shaker Main Post Office at 3675 Warrensville Center Road, Mondays through Fridays from 8:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The lobby will remain open for 24 hours a day. Once again, the United States Postal Service will use a mobile unit for Shaker Heights residents every Monday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 2855 East 130th Street in Cleveland through October. This is brought to you by the United States Postal Service and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Did you know that by law in Cleveland, you have the right to an attorney in certain eviction cases? If you rent your home in Cleveland, have any kids living with you, and meet low-income guidelines, you may qualify for free legal help. Call 216-687-1900. That's 216-687-1900, or visit freeevictionhelp.org online. That's freeevictionhelp.org to apply. This message is brought to you by the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland, the United Way of Greater Cleveland, and WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
Man, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. That was our third break, really. We only got 15 minutes left. Like, time passes so fast when we get on these microphones. I'm like, I feel like we just started.
Yeah. That typically happens when you're
having fun. That's what they say. Time passes fast.
And I don't mean that as no cliche, because whenever we do this, it's like, okay, let's just stop this small talk and let's just get right to it. But that small talk is what makes it so great.
Yeah, for sure. So bringing it back. So right before we went to break, I said we were going to discuss two different things. So actually, which one did you want to tackle first? So breaking news in college basketball. Coach Vampire Mike Krzyzewski decides to, this is going to be his last season coaching the Duke Blue Devils, so he doesn't have to sleep at night anymore. And then in basketball, looks like Danny Ainge is stepping down, and Brad, who's never won anything and probably never would, is going to be replace him as general manager. So Stephen A. Smith, let's start with the Celtics, because Stephen A. Smith was hot in the collar about this today. I don't know if you saw the rant that he did, but he wanted to know why more Black players do not speak up about Black people not being in a position to coach and have these opportunities, because Brad Stevens has been an unsuccessful coach, but guess what? He's getting to fail up with a promotion.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to keep it positive because there are two people out there that are saying that could very much be in line to be the next head coach in Boston. One is Chauncey Billups. He's assistant now, I believe, with the Nuggets. Yeah, he's with the Nuggets. The Celtics drafted him, I think it was number 4 overall back in 2000 or maybe 99 or something like that. Really? I hope he gets it. I really hope he gets it. And then there's another name that's out there, and doggone it, it escapes me at this point in time. But you know who I would like to see possibly get that job?
Who?
Mark Jackson.
Ain't he still doing announcing and stuff?
He's still announcing games. And
do you think he want to leave that cushy job?
I think he does want to be a coach again. I think he does want to be a coach again.
Because what I heard was that what happened with him in Golden State was they said he was like too religious or something.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And then Steve Kerr got to slide down in there and get 3 rings for a ready-made team already.
Ready-made team. But, you know, that happened with John Gruden and Tony Dungy down in Tampa Bay. When John Gruden basically left us high and dry and then went next year to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Sam Cassell. That's who I was thinking about, Mr. Gibson. Thank you.
Hey, Willie.
Yeah, Sam Cassell or Chauncey Billups. And Sam Cassell has been an assistant in the NBA pretty much since he stopped playing. So he's one of those guys, man, that actually deserves an opportunity. And I hope it's not if either one of these guys goes to the Celtics, right? It won't be the same situation that Steven Silas is down in Houston. he has no chance to win down there.
No, none.
But if one of these guys goes to Boston, you've got two superstars that are 25 years or younger.
Hey, Willie.
And then you have Kemba Walker, who played pretty much injured the entire year. But we know,
does he have to have surgery on that knee or no?
He already had surgery on it, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been giving him trouble really since they were in the bubble. And with the off season, I don't think it ever got right. So here's an opportunity for him to get right and for them to help him get right. Remember, he signed the big contract as a free agent when basically Kyrie Irving went to Brooklyn, and then Terry Rozier, who's up there from y'all's area, right? He's from Akron, is that correct?
No, he's from Shaker Heights. He actually went to my high school.
Shaker Heights. Okay, I don't know where that is, but I've heard of it, but I don't know where that is. But yeah, so he goes to Charlotte, and so here you have Walker in Boston. So you have Walker, you have Jaylen Brown, you have Jason Tatum. You can build around those three guys right there.
Yeah. And then, they got smacked by Brooklyn, but that was to be expected. But what do you think about Stephen A. Smith going off, though? Like, he was hot. He walked off set, too. I don't know if he was being extra dramatic, but, he had a good point because he also mentioned how the Rooney Rule isn't working in football as well because Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a head coaching job either. So, they can try to do these performative things, but they're really not working. But, I mean, I understand in film, you look at what happened with Steve Nash. How many years did Steve Nash put on somebody's bench before he became a head coach? You still got Tyronn Lue out there. Does he deserve another opportunity?
Well, he's the coach of the Clippers, so he's good.
He might be done, though.
I mean, no, this is his first year, and if they would have gotten swept, they would have probably broken that thing all the way down. But I didn't actually see Stephen A. Smith's rant. But I've actually been on Stephen A.'s show 3 times as a call-in guest.
You was?
Yeah.
I was about to say, why don't you get me on?
It's in my Twitter page. I'm gonna have to pin it to my.
He came on Her in the Huddle.
Who did?
Stephen A. Smith.
Did he?
Yeah, I got him on. He got like 35, 40 minutes too.
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, we enough name dropping. But now, Stephen A., if I know Stephen A. the way that I do, the rant was probably justified. If it was extra, then that's to pretty much generate more ratings. But he doesn't really need to do that, especially when he's right.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rooney Rule in the NFL is a complete and total joke.
Yeah. Because it's done nothing.
Nothing.
Systemic racism is very prevalent amongst all the sports leagues, as we can see.
Yeah.
Well, based on who gets an opportunity, who doesn't get an opportunity. Why wasn't Brad Stevens ever on the hot seat? How do you almost get swept? Haven't did anything significant. They have not. Okay, so I think did they make it to the Cavs, the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cavaliers the last year LeBron was here? I think maybe possibly wasn't that one of the furthest that they had been since he had been head coach.
Well,
but
they had been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 out of the last 4 years, and that 4th year, because of obviously they didn't make it last year, but before that, that was when they got
Ryan.
That's when they got the Cavs in Eastern Conference Finals, was when that 4th year of the 3 of the 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but most coaches, don't they get fired?
I mean, we've seen it happen with Dwayne Casey. How you go from winning Coach of the Year to getting fired.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know. That was bad. Yeah, but it's just nice when you can fail up. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, to get promoted. Look, we could do a whole show. You know what? That's gonna be part of Kick the Narrative the next time we do it. You got to come back on for that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna, it's just, I hate saying this is the world we live in because I don't want to subscribe to excuses and allow racism to continue. But had he been a person of color, he would have been fired. He would not have been slid into another job the next day. How this has taken place. What do you think about Coach K stepping down? What does that mean for Duke?
It's going to be rough for college basketball all the way around.
Why? You still got teams like Ohio State. Hello.
But it's not because it's not because of the teams or because of the programs. I caught that. Michigan. I think Michigan has handled y'all, at least in basketball, for the last few years. But that's
did you see my face? I was like,
yeah, yeah. Don't bring it up if you can't stand the heat. I ain't in the heat. Look what that fool said. He said, "I'm not the one that's in the kitchen. I'm not the one that's getting married." Whatever. Anyway, that's from The Wood. But anyway, back to your question, as that was a bad movie reference. The thing with college basketball is that there's a lot of kinks in that business armor, because you have these kids that are good enough to go straight to the NBA. And there's more of them these days than there are, because the blue chippers are coming out of college after 1 year. So there's more kids that are greater or that are better for the NBA coming straight out of high school than there are now for that reason. So you have the G League, you have the Australian leagues, you have the Mexican leagues, you have leagues in Puerto Rico. Of course, you have the league that Luka Doncic came from overseas. You got leagues in Israel. You got Stephon Marbury over there in China just raking it in.
Don't forget about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as well.
Huh?
I said, don't forget about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as well.
What's that?
You ain't never seen that movie with Sean Connery? It's like a hero movie or something.
That's your bad movie reference. But anyway, so I think it's going to be difficult for college basketball as a brand to really attract. And I haven't really followed college basketball at all, really, since the straight to high school, and then they went to the one and done. It's just hard to keep up with those schools unless you're a follower of the mid-majors. So look, Coach Krzyzewski is the greatest college basketball coach of all time on the men's side. 41 number one draft picks or number one or first round draft picks that he has produced. 28 of them lottery picks. He is the all-time winningest head coach in college basketball history, NCAA history, and they've already got his replacement scheduled, and it's their associate head coach. His name is Coach Shire. Is that his name?
I know that they.
No. It's John Shire. But and here's somebody else that could be taking over that French or that program, and that would be Tommy Amaker. Tommy Amaker is the coach up in Harvard. He coached at Michigan. He was responsible for recruiting Jason Tatum and Zion Williamson to Duke. And as a matter of fact, that is who Duke wants to replace Coach K. But I don't think Amaker wants to leave Harvard.
I wonder why not.
Because it's Harvard. The expectations at Harvard ain't gonna be nearly as what they are in Duke, and
that's very true.
And it's just like I said. I mean, you gotta think that these coaches see what's going on with these kids that are going to these leagues just so they can be out of high school for 1 year to ultimately come back and get into the NBA.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, I think that'd be a good move for Tommy Amaker. It'd be nice to see, a black man within a program that prominent as well. I don't think it'll really hurt basketball that much because I hate Duke. I hate the Blue Bloods. I hate Kentucky. I hate Kansas. What is it? Duke, Kansas, Kentucky,
North Carolina.
Thank you, North Carolina. Yeah. So I always root against them. So those are teams that people love to hate, especially when it comes to, March Madness. So I think it's great. I think it's great for somebody else to, be at the helm. Congratulations to Coach Krzyzewski. He's accomplished a lot. He's almost 74 years old and doesn't have one gray hair. I wholeheartedly believe he dyes his hair. There's no way he possibly could not dye his hair.
I don't think
I wish him the best of luck.
I don't think all of that hair is his either.
Probably not. And I'm sure he has pretty nice toupees as well. So, all right, we got to wrap it up. Willie, I thank you so much for being here. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We are out of here.